Poem The Glove and the Lion by Leigh Hunt. I'm going to do the connect, reflect, and imagine part. I want all of you to think. Let's put our thinking caps on and let's think. Have you ever taken anybody for granted? कि हाँ ये तो granted है मेरा friend, मैं कुछ भी करूँ इसके साथ, whatever I do and whatever I say, my friend's not going to leave me or anybody else. Do we tend to take people for granted? I'm sure we do. You know who we take for granted the most? Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Who do we take for granted the most? I'll tell you. Anyone? Come on, teachers also. Who do we take ये granted है बस. I take this person for granted. कुछ भी हो जाए, whatever I do, whatever I say, this will happen. Come on, tell me. I think we take our parents for granted, don't we? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
good
ma'am.
to see you. Good to see you, Kashmir. All right. So good to see all of you. And yes, we do. And sometimes we take our friends also for granted. Yes. I want you to think about it. I'll move on to the reflect part. Do you think it is fair for us to take our friends, our family members, to take them for granted and tell them to do whatever you ask them to do? You tell your parents, I want an iPhone, I want a laptop, I want an iPad. I don't care. You have to get it because we take them for granted. And if they don't get it, you sulk and you feel bad about it. You don't talk to them, you throw a shindy. Yes? Even with your friends, अगर आपने ऐसे नहीं किया तो मैं बात नहीं करूँगी, मैं बात नहीं करूँगा. करते हो ना? You all do that? Yes or no? Yes. I don't think we should take anyone for granted. Now, we're going to do a poem on this and I'm sure you will understand it better. Alright, we move on to the imagine part, children. I want all of you just to imagine, close your eyes, imagine that you have met your favorite superstar. Who's your favorite superstar? Somebody will say some singer, some cricketer, some celebrity, as in an actor, actress. What if you meet your favorite superstar? How are you going to impress him or her? Ma'am, just unmute them and whoever wants to speak, raise your hand.
Yes.
How will you impress? Yes. How will you impress your favorite superstar? Are you going to do cartwheels? Are you just going to start jumping and say, "Ooh"? What are you going to do when you meet your favorite superstar? How are you going to impress him or her? Think about it. I want all of you to write down the imagine part. You are going to write a short paragraph and even draw a picture of your favorite superstar standing there and you're standing there and how you're going to impress your favorite superstar. This is going to be a part of your homework, alright? Okay. Now moving on, we're going to do this lovely poem, The Glove and the Lion by Leigh Hunt. Leigh Hunt, my dear children, Leigh Hunt, we all know, has written lots of poems. I think, yes, there we have. Sir has just screen shared a picture of James Henry Leigh Hunt. He was born on 19th of October 1784 till 1859. He was an English poet, a critic, an essay writer, and of course a poet. He is known for his narratives. But your narratives are like stories And this particular poem, The Glove and the Lion, is a ballad. What is it? It's a ballad. A ballad is like a story. When we read the poem, it's a very simple poem. You'll understand it very easily because it's a ballad. Okay? His father, Isaac, was a lawyer from Philadelphia and his mother was a merchant's daughter. Alright? Now you will recognize Leigh Hunt. Okay? Now I'll move on to the summary of the poem. Everybody pay attention. Ekam, Shivam, everybody pay attention to the summary of the poem. Now, everybody knows from the title that the poem is about a glove. You all know what are gloves and lions. What do you think it's going to be about? Yes, this poem, my dear children, is about a king. It's about a king, Francis, who loves to entertain himself and the people in an arena. Can you see the picture? These are all steps around it, like we have in school the amphitheater. So in the older, now also theaters, you have stairs all around, and this center is called an arena. What is it called? Arena. And there are lions fighting. Sometimes lions with men, they are called gladiators, and they entertain themselves by watching such royal sports. This particular royal sport is a favorite of a king. His name is King Francis. And along with whom does he watch this royal sport? So can I see the picture before that? Yeah. So, children, we have counts and countess in the British Empire. Yes, that is of course Prince Charles, yes. And we have the Roman coming, and all the noble people and the counts and the duchess, they are the nobility, they are the superior lot, and they come and watch. So this much is, I'll just do the summary first, children. Sir, you can take the pictures off. पहले मैं summary करूँगी, then we start the poem. Okay, I want to see everybody's faces now. Everybody's bright there. Are we ready for the summary?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This King Francis, along with his lords and the ladies of his court, they are watching the lions fight in the arena. I showed you the picture of the arena, which has got steps all around, and the lions are fighting on the floor. नीचे floor है, and they are fighting there. And they are watching the lions fighting in the arena. One of the ladies present. So there is a lady present there, and she is very pretty, she's very lively, she's beautiful, and she's sitting with the love of her life, with the beloved. His name is Count de Lorge. She wanted to show off to the rest. One second. Sorry. I'm sorry, children. So what did she want to do? She wanted to show all the people who were sitting there that how much her lover, Count de Lorge, loved her. So you know what she does? Guess what she does? In that arena where there are ferocious, fierce lions fighting with each other, she takes off her glove. The ladies wear gloves still here, and she takes this glove out and she throws it in the arena. Why does she do that? To show everybody that her count, the beloved, is going to jump into the arena where the lions are fighting, and he will retrieve the glove and give it back to his beloved lover. She dropped her glove into the arena to see whether he would dare to fetch it. If he was injured or killed, she would gain glory by showing how much the count loved her. But her plan, I'm not going to tell you what happens, we will read the poem. Alright. Alright? I want all of you to reconnect for 10 minutes. Reconnect. Everybody say yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to complete the poem. After that, you can do your maths class. Alright? So let's have eyes on the board. Alright. The Glove and the Lions by Leigh Hunt. King Francis was a hearty king and loved the royal sport. And as his lion fought, sat looking on the court. The nobles filled the benches and the ladies in the crowd. And amongst them sat the count, the one for whom he sighed. And it was a gallant thing to see, that crowning show. Valor and love, and a king above, and the royal beasts below. I'll explain paragraph by paragraph. A ballad, can you see the rhyming scheme? Sport, court, side, show, below. The rhyming scheme is AB, AB. Now children, the name of the king is King Francis. He was a very friendly king. He loved a royal sport. What was a royal sport? Kings fighting in the arena. Children, in the olden times, they didn't have any other entertainment. These were all forms of entertainment. Right now, you have technology. The minute you finish a class, you're going to be on a PSP or play a game or some games on your phone or your computer. But in the olden days, this was a way of entertaining people. The kings also used to entertain their noble people, the common people, by animals fighting and men fighting with animals also. So King Francis was a hearty king and he loved a royal sport. What was a royal sport? The two lions fighting in the arena. And everybody sat, obviously not next to the where the lions are fighting. They have an arena, stairs and that, and they all sit there and watching the sport. The nobles filled the benches. People came from all the nobility. The people came and started sitting and taking the place, and the ladies were sitting in the front, looking lovely and beautiful. And who sat amongst them? Amongst them sat Count the Lord, one of the counts, and he sat with somebody he loved. Child, he loved his baby, and yes, truly, it was a gallant, great thing to see that crowning show. Which I'm talking about? The lions fighting in the arena. Now that was valor, courage, and love. Of course, he had the count and the very pretty lover sitting next to him. And above all sat the king and the royal beasts below. Who are the royal beasts below? The lions fighting in the arena. Runt and roared the lions with horrid laughing jaws. They bit, they glared, gave blows like beams. A wind went with the claws. With wallowing might and stifled roar, they rolled on one another, till all the pit with sand and mane was in a thunderous smother. The bloody foam above the bars came whisking through the air. Said Francis then, "Faith, gentlemen, we are better here than there." The second stanza, the poet is explaining us, he's describing the fight between the lions. What a ferocious fight it was. The lions were ramping and roaring. Horrible, they were laughing, the jaws were all open. They were biting each other, they were giving blows to each other. Can you see the picture? They bit, they glared, they gave blows. With wallowing might, with all their might, they were catching each other's throat. And imagine two lions fighting. What a scene that would be. I would dare to go near that. Then the pit is filled with sand, and the name of the lion, lions. Here, then there. What a ferocious fight it was. The Lord's love overheard the king, a beauteous, lively face, with smiling lips and sharp eyes, which always seemed the same. She thought, the count my lover is brave as brazen. He surely would do wondrous things to show his lover. Kings, ladies, lovers, all look on. The occasion is divine. Having dropped my glove to this love, great glory will be mine. In the third stanza, the poet describes us how this beautiful lover of Count, one of the counts sitting there, the Lord's lover, she hears the king. She's a beautiful, lovely dame, young lady. She has smiling lips, bright eyes, but they always seem the same. Why do you think they seem the same? Because she's emotionless. We all have expressions. When we are sad, our eyes, will be a little droopy, our lips won't be the same. But she was an emotionless, vain woman. So she hears the king and says, okay, the king is saying that we are better off here than there. So she says, you know what I'm going to do? My lover, the Count de Lord, he's a very brave count and he can do anything for me. And everybody is watching this, royal sport. So what she says is, you know what I'm going to do? She thinks in her mind. The occasion. What is the occasion? Where the lions are fighting? She says the occasion is divine. It's wonderful. So she says, I am going to drop my glove in the arena where the lions are fighting. And he's going to prove his love. He was going to jump into the arena and he's going to get the glove for me. And what glory I'll have. I'll be so famous. I'll have all the glorious people will say, wow, he loves you so much. That's what they explain in the third stanza. We move on to the next fourth stanza. She dropped her glove to prove his love. Then he looked at him and smiled. He bowed a moment and leaped among the king's wives. The leap was quick. Without he had regained his place. Then, through the clock, but not right in his face. My God, said Francis, rightly done. And he rose from where he sat. No love, quoth he, but vanity sets love a task like that. It's a last paragraph, very well expressed by the poet. The poet further tells us that the lady, she drops the glove in the arena, and then what does she do? She looks at her lover. Who's the lover? Count de Lorge. She looks at him with pride, and he looks at her. He jumps into the arena. What a courageous and a brave count he was. But do you think he was happy with that decision? Not at all. Would anybody who loves somebody ever do that? So he jumps into the arena where the lions are fighting. He was very quick with his leap and he grasps the glove and he jumps back on his bench. And you know what he does? He throws the glove. But does he throw it with love? No. He throws it just like this. He throws it on the lady's face. And you know what the king says? He says, that is very good. Rightly done. Perfectly fine. He says, no love. Quoth is an old English word, said. He says, only vanity. Vanity, my dear children, is an abstract noun which comes from the word being vain. What do you mean by vain? What do you mean by vain? Vain means when when you are very, very conceited, very, very full of yourself, you know, of how pretty and how lovely and how beautiful you are, showing high regard of yourself, you know. So she's a narcissist, I guess. She says, oh my God, you know, and she's so vain. So he says, only vanity is an abstract noun, vain becomes an adjective. He says, only vanity will set a task like this for his or her loved ones. If somebody truly loves somebody, would never put his or her lover in danger just to prove her glory for everybody else. So it really was the right thing what the Count does. He gets to know that the lady is just testing me, she doesn't love me, and he throws the glove right on her face, and even the king is very happy with his gesture, with what he does. And he says, rightly done. Only vanity can set a lover such a task. A normal person, if somebody who really loves somebody, would never put their lives into danger. So what has the lady done? She has taken her lover for granted. But in the bargain, the Count gets to know that she never really loved him. She just wanted to become a great glory by him bringing the glove back. And if he had died also, what would have happened? Everybody would have said, oh my God, how much love there was. He went to get a glove, a measly, merely glove for her. And he died. Right? I hope you have understood the poem.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now what we're going to do, I'm going to ask you a few questions on that, all right? Have you all understood the poem well?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Poem. It was a ballad. Yes, it was a ballad, a narrative. It's like a story in which we get to know that we should not take anybody for granted or anything for granted also. Are you ready for some? How much time do we have?
9 minutes.
9 minutes left, ma'am.
9 minutes is a long time. All right.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you a few questions. Are we ready? So whoever wants to answer, just raise your hand and sir, just unmute them. All right? All right. The first question is, what is a royal sport? In the poem, what is the royal sport we're talking about? Yes?
Lion.
Very good. The lions fighting in the arena is a royal sport. Well done. All right. Next. Faith, gentlemen, we are better here than there. Who said these and to whom?
King.
King Francis said to?
Gentlemen. The nobles.
The nobles. And
Nobles.
watching. Very
King
good.
Francis
All right.
said this.
All right. Do you think he said that? Who will answer this? Why do you think he said that we are better sitting here than there?
Because
Ma'am, because the seat was dangerous.
Yes.
Ma'am, because
in the
it
arena
would
there are
be
lions
very
fighting.
dangerous if
Yes,
they would
dangerous royal sport. All right.
have.
Yes. Next. Why do you think that the lady's eyes look the same? Anyone?
Because she was emotionless.
She was
she's
devoid
emotionless.
of emotion. Very good. She had no expression. Whether she was happy, she was like this. Whether she was sad, she was like this. When you're happy, you're like this. When you're sad, you're like this. She was always like this. Look at my expressions. Any emotions on my face?
No.
Happy or sad? No expression. Now give me an expression where you are happy. All right. Okay. Now, children, one more. What do you mean by vanity? He says, no love, quoth he, but vanity sets love a task like this. Vanity means when you're too full of yourself, you're full of
Selfishness.
not selfishness. When you know that you are nice looking, you're good, and you're full of yourself, you're conceited, you're showing very high of yourself. All right? That's called vanity. Are we clear?
Everything in ourselves.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, one more thing. Now, before time runs out, I want all of you to read this poem once again. I want all of you to stand in front of the mirror, okay, and recite the poem the way I recited it. All right? You stand in front of the mirror, speak each and every word very clearly, and practice reading this poem 2 to 3 times, because I'm going to take a poetry recitation of this. The paragraph, stanza 1, you all will read it twice, but stanza 1 is for the girls, stanza 2 is for the boys, and third is for the girls, and fourth for the boys. Are we clear?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
And children, I know you have classes from morning 8 o'clock till 1 or 2 in the afternoon. Whenever you get the time, your deadline is Tuesday. You have to learn and write the word bank by till Tuesday. Will you all do that by Tuesday?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Neatly
Yes,
written,
ma'am.
heading, Lee Hunt, and you will write the word bank. Another hearty, come on, another for Hearty King. He was a Hearty King. Hearty, friendly, genial, gallant, another word for gallant.
Brave.
Valor,
Courage.
Courage.
ramp, ramp.
Behave.
Behave in a
Violent manner.
You all learn and write the word bank by Tuesday. All right? And I want all of you for homework, find the questions and answers for A, B, and C. I've already discussed with you. No worries. We will do it in the next class. And I want, yes?
Ma'am, we have to do imagine part.
It will be nice if you can just do the imagine part
Yes,
in your
ma'am.
notebooks. All of you, write a short paragraph on working with a superstar. What do you think you'll do? Come on, hurry up. Naman, what will you do if you meet? Who's your favorite superstar? Tanya, what will you do if you meet a superstar? Kashvi, what will you do? No one? You'll just sit there and go, that's what you'll do? Think of something what you would do to impress your favorite superstar.
And we will shake hand with
We'll take photograph.
Do something that he notices you. Yes or no? Okay, children, time is running out. Tell me, have I had any debating class with you? Have I had any debating class with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
What was the topic? What was the topic?
Ma'am, the
there
animals
were
used
2 to
for
3
entertainment or sports.
Great. So we will start the debating class from next week. And children, whenever you get a message, actually whenever I am free, I'm going to send you a message. Everybody log in. There are no particular days for the debate, all right? But whenever I can, we are debating again. All right? We'll start a debating class again. And that's the way I did today. It could be a last minute also. It can be sometimes a last minute thing. Okay. I think we did about blood sport debate, didn't we? Kashvi, what was the topic again?
Ma'am, animals used for sports.
All right, animals used for sports. So that was from here only, na? From your relate. See the relate part, page number 56. Yes, I think I gave you from here. Blood sports, should animals be used? So I will find another debating topic, and I want all of you.
Excuse me, ma'am.
I'll send you a PDF with all the points, and I will make boys on one side and girls on the other side. Read the points, and you can do your own research. I'll try to touch once a week. I hope you all are clear with the poem.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
need to reconnect. You don't need to reconnect, and you do not need to reconnect. You relax and start with your maths class. I have 1 minute left. So can you all recite after me?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
The
Yes,
Glove and
ma'am.
the Lions by Leigh Hunt. Come on, everyone. The Glove and the Lions by Leigh Hunt. Speak.
The glove and
Okay. Boys, you'll do the second stanza. Girls will recite after me. King Francis was a hearty king and loved a royal sport.
King Francis was a
And loved a royal food.
And one day, as his kings sat looking on the court,
And
one
one
day
day,
as
Francis Lawrence sitting on
looking
the
on the court.
the nobles filled the benches and the ladies in the pride.
the
The
nobles
nobles filled
filled
benches and
and the ladies
pride.
in their pride.
And amongst them sat the council lords with one for whom he sighed.
and
And
amongst
among these
them
there
sat
Said
the
the Lord, one
with
side.
one for whom he sighed.
And truly, it was a